Well, you were expecting an update on the Revell F-14, but I've done something, a bit of a bonus part here. It is still in existence, it still is over here. I've just put another layer of primer on the canopy, and I'm trying to get that thing to bloody fit, but it's taking forever to get there, but I'll get there in the end, and by the time I'm finished doing that, I'll have finished building this. So, what am I doing? Well, let's have a look inside the box. For those of you unfamiliar with this particular kit, well, it's pretty much until the Great War Hobby 148 one comes out. It's pretty much the best F-14 kit you can get, and I need this for therapy because, oh my god, has that Revell F-14 almost broken me. And in fact, I'm working on another Revell kit over there to the right that almost broke me a year ago. So what's in the box? Well, almost nothing, because I've actually almost built this. All I've done is over the last couple of weeks, since I got back from hospital and figured myself out, well, yeah, I've pretty much assembled it. There's a few bits to be glued on, and there's a few bits that are just snap fitted in because, you know, the fit on this is so perfect it just snap fits in. So what I'm going to do in this video, I'm just going to go over the kit itself, what I've had to do. I'm going to show you some of the upgrades that I've had to do to make it in flight, and well, what am I actually going to do with this? Well, stay tuned to find out. For those of you who haven't built one of these before, I've built one. I've built the A before. This is a fantastic kit. It literally almost falls together. It's not exactly perfect. I'll show you. There's one particular bit there. There's a seam there that you need to clean up, and there's also the seams at the waist that need cleaning up, and also, whoop, there goes the wing. At the wing glove, I see a lot of people forget to clean up this seam here. The wing glove still exists on the A model, but you need to clean up this seam here. So there are a few things to point out, but nothing compared to that Revell thing. I mean, look, the cockpit, the nose section just slides in there perfectly, and yes. Alright, so what I've done is I've pre-assembled most of the kit, and I've got rest of the other parts all here. So you know, I've got the fuel tanks all done up, the missiles, the pylons, the nozzles, everything is all ready to go. Yeah, and the only thing that took me a lot of effort to do, and I may as well talk about that now, let me just get the parts ready, is converting it to wheels up. Unfortunately, Tamiya refused to engineer their kits properly as aircraft kits. They make them as car kits. Why can't I find the piece for the front? Let me have a look. Okay, there's that piece. I should have edited this bit out. Now here it is. Okay, all right. Get out of here. Let me just set this up properly. Before I go any further, I think you can kind of guess what I'm going to be doing with this small F-14. I came across these new decal set from Def Model, okay, from Korea, and they've done, because they're hard to get, the fighter town decals are hard to get, they've done all the TOPGUN F-14s and the F5 or F20s, whatever those, you know, fake MiGs are. And you get canopy mast as well, which is great. Yeah, so I've got all the choices here. I can do Iceman, or I can do Maverick's Bird. I can do, I can also do the one post Goose getting shot or drowned or whatever. So that's what I intend to do. My intention is to do 2 Icemen. So this is going to be a little Iceman, maybe, or I might change my mind halfway through and do Maverick. They've also got all the decals for the where are they? Is that them there? Yep. All the decals for the helmets as well, which is fantastic. So these look pretty good. So that's my intention. That's what I'm going to be doing. It's a bit of therapy basically after, you know, slogging through that Revell thing, and I reckon by the time I've finished fixing all the tiny little things I need to fix on that before primer goes down, I'll have this all done. Now, the major thing I had to do, and if you're not interested in this bit, skip ahead, is convert to wheels up. Okay, and unfortunately, it's not just Tamiya's fault, it's the F-14. The F-14 has lots of doors. In fact, where are they all gone? Yeah, there's 3 on the main gear wells for the left and right, and then there's, I believe, 5? Yeah, 5 for the nose gear. Yeah, Tamiya in their new 148 stuff is brilliant, but it's terrible to modify the wheels up, and it really, you know, I'm doing the P38 Lightning at the moment, and that thing is it's killing me just on doing wheels up. So, if you want to have a look to see how it's done, this is how it's done. First, I'll just put this aside. For the nose, let's just tighten up here. So you got this piece, the forward Phoenix pallet and also for the Sparrow missiles. There's that very long, whoop, in camera Chris, there's that very long door that fits in there perfectly. That's the easiest one to do, no worries, it's a separate part. However, the other parts are these. Okay, now you've got two main doors, and then you've got these two other doors. First time I did this on my F-14A, my VX4 jobby, the black one, I got these mixed up. What you have to actually do, because the contours are all wrong, you have to snip off all the hinges, and then you have to thin down these front ones, glue these two together so they're nice and flush, so you get almost a panel line there. And then to make this completely flat, so it fits into here, like so. Okay, there it is. You have to make the right camber across here and here. So it is a lot of fiddling and fart-arsing around. I do have several more Tamiya F-14s to do, and almost all of them except for one I'm going to do wheels up. So I am going to look into a 3D printing solution. I'm going to I'll do this again, because I'm going to put this in, do this again and print up my own doors instead of going through this, because this alone took more than it took to assemble the parts, let alone doing the main gear well. Now moving on to what you have to actually do is, of course, Tamiya don't allow for any sort of thing for this to sit on, and that's a little bit tight at the moment. There it goes, yep. So you have to very carefully put in a few pieces of evergreen styrene, and it has to be almost flush with the lip of the fuselage piece, and there's not much area to do it in because there's a lot of wheel well detail in there, which is a bit of a pain to remove, so you only need it in those two areas, but yeah, a lot of fiddling to get just right, nice and flush, so it looks like it's properly laden up there. So let's move to the main gear wells, and you can see there's a similar effort involved. There's actually quite a lot involved because you've got to get the geometry right. First of all, these main ones that hinge out are not the correct shape. Tamiya haven't made these in the correct shape at all. And in fact, this is easy to do if I take the intakes off, so that's why I haven't glued them in yet, and that's the wrong one. So this process, because they do provide a lip all the way around the corner, come on, I did have this fit, okay. You actually have to, I'll just show you, that's the closed one. You have to actually remove quite a bit of detail, quite a bit of meat all the way around without trying to lose, because you want that to be a flush panel. You don't want to be any gaps, you want it to look like it's a completely closed panel without modifying the borders there. You actually have to do a little bit, because like I said, the geometry isn't quite correct. And you also have to remove a little bit of meat on the inside there of these lips, or it just won't sit right. Yes. The next stage you have to do, keep holding of those pieces, is you have to remove, you have to make an angle there as well, otherwise these other two pieces won't fit. So let's move on to the other two doors, and I've got the right side. Let's have a look. Okay, there we go. So that fits in there nicely like that. And you'll see there's quite a bit to do here. So you've got this long gear door here and this one here, which they've actually molded incorrectly. I used milliput there. There's these two divots there that need to be flush, so they were filled in. And then what you need to do is, and it's the easiest way because you get that nice straight line that runs flush with your intake, so you're constantly taking that in and out to make sure it's correct. You have to remove quite a bit of hinge detail there, because normally it just sits like that. And then, yeah, again, making that flush. A couple of pieces of styrene just to make a bridge. This piece isn't too bad. This one, however, does need a bit of fettling to get it to sit, not just there, but also with that other piece. Finally, and it looks a bit complicated, I need a pointy, sticky thing. Not only do you need to make a shelf for the pieces to sit on, they also have to be recessed because of there's that lip on there, but also the Tamiya have not, there's some notches there, where these three little ones are. Those three need to be filled because they don't exist on the real thing, and when you cut away the hinges, because it's designed to be open like that, okay? So it's designed for a hinge, but in reality that's not what it looks like. It's a closed panel like that, so you need to fill those three as well. we're not over. It's not complete. There's one more thing, and I failed to do this on my last one. In fact, this one I haven't finished yet. Again, with a bit of milliput, there's this door, the small door that opens. It takes the main strut when the wheels come out. That needs to be filled and made flush as well. I think I did a better job on this one. Might just need a little bit of Mr. Surfacer just to mold in flush. And then that is the wheels up done. So let's put that aside and move on to the other stuff. So apart from those def model decals for Top Gun, I will be using a little bit more aftermarket. I may not need to use Edward masks. We'll just see how those decals go. The mask set and the decals. The main thing, of course, is I'm going to replace the crew, which isn't too bad, with the aero bonus set. Yeah, these are really, really lovely. I should get a lot of detail out of those because they've got the injection seat, so that's going to be one of the top things I do first. And then the next thing I do is I bought this a long time ago, well before Russia invaded Ukraine, so I won't buy Quinta again. But I bought the Quinta F-14, the interior decals. So first time I've used those, I want to give those a go. Hopefully that'll speed things up. We've got a little brass, the alpha probe, and then the other two things just to modify this A into the correct one is the chin pod. So I've just got the chin pod. I've done that before. That's an easy mod. And this is the reinforcement plates on the tails. Again, that's an easy mod. And after watching a couple of guys, Luftrum, Chris Cyber on Luftrum, and Robbie Naufs on the model guide, they're building F-14, F-148 F-14s at the moment too. They've kept the tails off, so they don't actually glue them to the fuselage, so you can weather them and whatever. So I'll do the same and I'll bang these together, and that's pretty much it. So what I'm going to be doing next is I'm going to get stuck into, because there is one thing I forgot to mention, but so there's the decals. So apparently this is quite easy to do. You just paint the tub. Where's the tub? I've lost the tub. No, it's inside. Okay. Paint up the tub, paint up the pieces, to remove all the detail from the pieces, and glue these all on. And again, with the seats are already pretty much done together. I just got to cut them off with my trusty saw. Cut that off, paint these up, put the decals on, and then at that stage I have to decide who I'm going to do. I'm going to do Maverick or Iceman. I'm not sure. I'm thinking about doing Iceman because then I can just do the weathering patterns exactly the same on both aircraft. I can just, doing one, do the other one. I don't know. Let's have a think about it. Once that's done, yeah, I just need to paint the inside of these intakes, and then whoosh, the whole thing can be assembled. I can glue on all the landing gear, glue on all the parts. One thing I haven't shown you though, and again I should have covered this under the in-flight dramas, what I intend to do is something similar I did on an Academy 172. And what I'm going to do is, let's just get this correct. How am I going to pose this in flight? Okay. And I've been using some different methods. What side is that? Is that that side? Oop, let me just repose that better. Sorry. I'm going to use a slightly different method that takes advantage of the really awesome engineering that's on these Tamiya kits. This is all just clicking, fitting together, hopefully on camera, and my lights aren't killing each other. Okay. What I'm thinking about doing is actually having the rod coming, the clear rod, one of these jobbies, okay, clear rod, 9mm clear rod. On the Revell, I did a clear rod on the inside here, okay, because it's going to be, the pose for this is going to be wings out like that. It's a very steep bank, flying along. Well, what I'm thinking about doing, because like I said, with my Academy F-14, I actually drilled a hole through the side there of the nacelle and created a structure in here. But what's your name? Tamiya have done, of course, is I can actually glue in a piece here on the back side of the inlet face here, and I can just drill a small hole through the side here, like so. Okay, and so the rod will come out and it'll be covered mainly by the wings. So if you can just imagine, that's the ground, okay, and the rod comes out like that, it's going to be covered mainly by the wing. So it gives you the illusion, that's all I'm after here. Okay, so it's going to be like that. So the rod will come out from there. So give the illusion, okay, instead of having rods out of the exhaust pipe, which I'm not really that much of a fan of. So that's going to be the new thing I do with this, plus the Quinta. But I'm really hoping to get stuck into this. So the next update, I should have that built. I might show a few little things if you're interested in seeing some of the bits that go on. But yeah, let's get stuck into it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this little bonus Iceman ×2 video.